What can I say about Jackie Serrato, this barrio journalist who has fought her way to the recognized expert and community leader she's become, based on her sheer passion for her community, a determination to give voice to the voiceless, and her commitment to advocacy for those unseen and unheard as they fight for their American dream? Yes, that is Jackie. I first met Jackie in summer 2019 when, as then president of the Chicago Journalists Association, we invited Jackie to serve on our nonprofit Media, a Model for the Future panel. That's when I learned this lifelong community activist had done something that many of us in legacy media came late to, harnessing the power of social media to build a bilingual, self-sustaining news outlet, serving Little Village, where she was born and raised. Her La Villita Facebook community page, birthed December 2009 with 100 fans, today boasts some 175,800 followers. A rich social media community supporting a neighborhood Jackie believed ignored by the mainstream. In pursuit of her purpose and mission, Jackie has journeyed from a former fast food worker to editor-in-chief of the respected Southside Weekly, that journey beginning with years of supporting nonprofits in their critical work to sustain disadvantaged communities, followed by many years in the trenches learning from some of the best in the business. Coming up through the ranks at such entities as City Bureau, WBEZ, Chicago Vaz, WTTW, Chicago Tribune's Hoy Media, Black Club Chicago, and the Chicago Reporter, she was 2 years ago notably named editor-in-chief of a nonprofit developing emerging writers seeking to break into the journalism industry, as she herself once was. Yes, Jackie has come full circle. I more recently crossed paths with Jackie when we served together on a Chicago Community Media and Research Partnership, a 2-year, 9-member task force led by Public Narrative and Northwestern University's Alliance for Research in Chicagoland Communities. Just before the global COVID-19 outbreak, we began exploring how health research findings can best reach and improve health decision-making amongst populations experiencing health disparities through journalists focused on those communities. Well, over the course of our 2 years together, I have learned from Jackie's keen insight into the community where she's lived and focused her entire career. I've been inspired by her Take No Prisoners advocacy on issues of institutional racism, challenging Black and Brown communities, and by her brilliant perspective on solutions building in those communities from the ground up. Of course, Jackie is also my co-worker at the venerable Chicago Sun-Times, where she manages our Spanish translation and where we also benefit from her out-of-the-box perspective. Finally, Jackie is an impactful writer. I love her work, her awards ranging from Chicago's Latino 40 Under 40 to Advocate of the Year. But as I said to then President Susie Schultz through tears when she called in 2015 to inform me I'd won the Terkel, this is the award that says you're making a difference in your mission to give voice to the voiceless. Jackie is truly Esha on Chicago, as her social media handle indicates. That's made in Chicago. Congratulations, Sister Jackie. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Hey everyone, I am so grateful to be here. It's affirming to win this journalism award when, for many years, I, like others that I know, have felt like outsiders in the industry. First, as a Mexican American woman from a stigmatized neighborhood who wanted to enter the field and be taken seriously, but also as someone who was frustrated with the dominant narratives and media tropes about Black and Brown communities in both English and Spanish language media. Not fitting the status quo has meant living paycheck to paycheck as a freelancer and as a staffer, getting pulled into HR meetings and feeling gaslighted at different points in my career for pitching community-centered stories that defied misconceptions. I don't have many heroes in journalism outside of some of the obvious ones like Ida B. Wells and Ruben Salazar. But Studs Terkel is one of those heroes. I never got a chance to meet him, unfortunately, but I've spent hours listening to a fraction of his countless interviews, getting a peek into the old Chicago, the old school Chicago, the working Chicago, the Chicago of our grandparents. I remember one of the first interviews of his that drew me in. It was of the Young Lords, a Latino street gang that became self-aware and turned political back in 1969. It gave me a window to what was possible in journalism. I don't like to pat myself in the back, but I'm proud of having the drive to write in moments when I lacked the editorial support that I needed, and having the determination to say, I'm going to write this story because it needs to be told, no matter what. It could have meant not getting paid for the story or getting my draft thrown into trash, which an editor, by the way, did do in 2018, I think, when I was trying to write about Alderman Danny Solis's corruption. But I'm lucky to have friends and family, my community, who have my back, so that when I was feeling down or feeling anxious at work, I knew that I could go home to a place of love. I am determined to continue the necessary conversations about objectivity in media, about diversifying media, and the importance of including history and an analysis of power dynamics as our best practices for ensuring ethical media locally. This award inspires me to keep working with young people in the city so that they too can feel empowered to become homegrown community journalists and not be ashamed by it. Thank you all so very much. I am so humbled by your support.